I know what you're thinking. I just clicked on a video and I'm going to watch some long hair hippie put in some ridiculous extractors or retractors on a shitty old wagon. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole back of the car to come apart for these stupid retractors to work. I don't know. Thank God they figured it out in modern cars. Have fun watching me struggle. What's going on, guys? So, we're back working on the wagon. I really should just work in the front area because this is like the fun zone. We're going to work on the tailgate. So, to do that, I moved a lot of this junk in the front. And I know I was complaining about how the seat, I want it further back. Well, if you fold the back seat all the way down, the seat can only go back maybe another inch or two. So, anyways, we're going to get on this cable setup. It just seems overly complicated for what it is, but hey, what are you going to do? Basically, this retractor right here, which is kind of like spring-loaded type thing, which will pull itself back, fits right at the front of the wheel tub, basically. I'm assuming anyways. And it's going to run backwards. It connects onto this, which is a little cable you're actually going to see, so this one's broken. So it should be retracting in. There you go. Now it's going to fit through this little guide, essentially, like that one has, to point it where it wants. Then it's got this goofy little setup where you feed it through. You put this on, and then once it's all together, it can't come out. But it has this little slot so it can be any way it wants and point straight back. So overall, fairly simple. There was a couple videos on YouTube just kind of describing what it is. I'm going to try and make one so it actually can be, well, what I'm going to do. Hopefully it'll work out for everybody. I got a few broken bolts I'm going to have to deal with. Welding on some nuts and heat and all that. So that'll be kind of part of this video, how to take out 70-year-old or 65-year-old bolts. But we're getting into this. So I believe you take this piece out, and there should be a couple access holes, so I'm going to climb in there, take that out, and then this should be fairly easy to get to. The kit came with new mounting hardware. You see that? So I'm not really too concerned about much. Cut it all out, put the new stuff in, feed it in. It looks like there's a slot about halfway. It looks like a little V where this band is going to fit through. So it does have to take a couple of curves around. Yeah, we'll get it all together. I'll get this all apart, at least we'll see what it looks like, and then hopefully we should be able to get it together today. The broken bolts are going to be the problem. They're always ugly. But we got a welder, we got a wrench, and we got small brains. What else do you need? Well, let me tell you the can of worms I opened up. So, that's what the side looks like. I haven't touched yet. Here is my nightmare. So, there's two pieces of, I guess, interior vinyl. One the front, one the back of this little, Chantal, how am I going to do this? This piece right here is the catch for the back seat. So you got to take those two screws out, which were seized. There's a bunch of screws holding this in, holding that in. Those come out, not too bad, except there's a pile of dirt and whatnot. Here's the trim piece. You can see all the junk that's been in that. That one is the back piece. So that section that fell out, just pile of dirt. And yeah, I took the back piece off. So it's actually coming around. It's surface rusty, but not rusty, which is good. Up in here, it's just jam-packed with like mud and stuff. So we'll get that all cleaned up. Then there's this piece, which I already just taken out. I'm a little excited, a little ahead of myself. So let's just fit in like that. There's 4 screws. I managed to get 2 out. 2 I had to grind. You'll pop this out, and this is the cable. So obviously the retractor is all the way out in junk. It's got 2 little mounting screws. So yeah, I guess we'll just change it out for a new one. I guess these are the same left and right. They must be. I'll double check the package, but that'll do its thing, and then just redo it all backwards. I'm gonna vacuum in here. I think I might scuff this all up and give it a coat of black paint, and while it's all apart, I'll take the remainder of the, oh god, the headliner out, and more rat turds. But I mean, otherwise, I guess the rubber is actually in pretty good shape for the window, I gotta say. Unfortunately, the windows are starting to have this little delamination on the bottom. They're kind of foggy, which, whatever. But actually looks like getting the glass in. Looks like it just kind of fits in with rubber, and there's a little, this piece holds it against it. So I will clean that up, and I'm gonna put the new one in, and we'll see what happens. I'll give it a quick coat of paint. We'll see if we can get this one side, the track, working pretty simple. I can't imagine it being that difficult. This does fit in a little finger thing, I think, underneath. We'll see if I can get in there, but it's all boxed and tight. Not a lot of options. To get everything out, it's quite a job, I gotta say, getting under there. So this is the new retractor. I put the cable on already. So we're gonna go back in. It only kind of goes one way where this little slot is. There is a hole. There's two there for the rest for the back of the seat. So we're just gonna slide this in backwards, and I mean, I assume that's how it's doing, because otherwise you gotta try and reach up in here and connect this retractor, which is probably a nightmare. From about here back under the car, you can get everything. So maybe I'll do that. I'll get that. I'll see if I can pull the cable around. So I guess these retractors obviously must be a certain amount out as it is. No, I guess this must be right, because when it's in, the cable actually has to be right, you know, damn near at the end there, right? Dan, is that right? Anyways, so we'll put this in, hopefully, and I gotta drill just a couple of new holes, but should be good as long as this this one slot lines up, and we'll be good to go. So yeah, I'll put that together, and then we'll maybe crawl underneath, or at least I'll pull it through and just kind of show you. How is this all gonna? No, yeah, it must work. Everything fits through until it gets to the end. Okay, I'm on it. Stupid brain. Well, she's a little smoky in here because I had to weld some nuts on some of these studs that had broken off, but we got the one side in. Unfortunately, there's a little piece at the top which you got to get to from the bottom that needs to kind of run through a little eyelid there. So it's definitely a little, I don't know, I guess it does its thing, but it's a little stiff. Maybe not. It just needs to work back and forth. So that's pretty much how it works. Very simple. It's got this like stiff spot right there. But we got one side dialed together, so that's good. Now we got to do the exact same thing on that side, but it's supper time, so I'm gonna take a little break, let everything kind of cool off, and then maybe I'll set the last camera up and just let her, you can watch me struggle, take it all apart. We'll run the new cable, and then paint it, put it back together. All right. Alright, so you saw me struggle to get this side apart. Now, here is the humdinger. This side's not as bad as the driver's side's brutal because of the wicked looking fill. So this, the retractor obviously, ouch, fits in the side, and it runs that strap, which then eventually right here turns into the cable, which then wraps around and goes in. Now at the transition point, there is, at the end of the cable, did I lose it? Look at the junk back here. Oh, the cable's here. On the cable, there's a little spring. And this spring fits in a V shape, kind of a dampener, so that when it goes all the way down, I guess it doesn't you know, whatever, bang and do its thing. Now I'll try and show you in here. It's tricky, so bear with me. How am I gonna do this? It's right at the very top. So right here, you can see that. That's the V where my finger is. And right here is actually a loop. And these both bolt in, and you gotta get the bolt from the top down. Now that's the fender. It's boxed the whole way around. You can't get to it other than reaching up in there. And you gotta take at least the loop one by the looks of it. I might be able to fish the cable out. Nope, it has to come undone. And it looks like it's one piece. So that piece has to come out. Now you're like, okay, well that's a little tricky. No big deal. Well, this one. Yeah. So you can kind of see in there. Now, it looks like there might be an inspection plate I can take off at the bottom. Yes. This side's not quite as nice to get to, so the taillight will have to come out, and I'll probably have to reach from the bottom, and Danny will probably have to guide me. But I'll get this one out, maybe I'll show you again, and then put it back together. It's actually fairly simple, but what a ridiculous system. Ridiculous, Chevy. Ridiculous. Okay, so now I can give you a little bit more. So this is obviously the piece we took out, same as the other one. The retractor is not retracting. I put the new one on, its little mount, with just, it has a little pin and a cotter pin, very simple. Now here is the piece which I'm struggling to get on that side, but it fits up in that little corner, and one second here, stupid one hand. So this is your limiting factor. So this piece here keeps it in line with your little hole there, and as this comes out, this is what's going to be your stop. So that spring goes up against there. Oh, don't drop it, buddy, don't drop it. Gentle, gentle. Like that. So as it comes to a stop, it'll have a little spring, and that's it. And that's what gives you your tension to there, so the tailgate can't go smashing into these bumpers, which it's done for many, many years. So I will, that was quite a cough there. I will put this in, loop it around, slip that in, and then you gotta kind of pull it out just a little. It's actually not too bad, because even with everything completely retracted and through everything, the this ball fits just off to the side. So very complicated, needlessly complicated, and awkward to get to, but it does work. So slam it together, and maybe we'll just kind of run the tailgate up and down with this thing all apart, and you can kind of see how it works. Okay, so we got this thing all dialed together. We got the cable out. I got a pair of vice grips on it because it wants to obviously retract. Now it's retractable. Now, do you guys see in there? I don't know what the best angle is. So the cable is right there, and then the retractor. And as I pull, you see it comes out, and then it stops. I can't go any further, which will be pretty good there. And then it'll go back in. Doesn't really retract all the way there. Whatever. So that's the way it works. Now, I have to get these two screws out because this little eyeball fits in there like on the other one. These two screws are for sure going to be seized, so I'm going to weld a couple nuts to them, zing them out, and hopefully be good. On some of these, I actually they torched them out and welded in nuts. You can see it's a little on the burny side, but I'm confident this one will go less bad, and then we'll put it all together. That side still got to do that little whatever V piece, which is gonna be a nightmare, but that might be for another time. And I'm gonna paint everything, clean everything up, because this is just disgusting. And then Danny said she's making some good for dinner, right?
No.
Can we at least have hot dogs and the macaroni?
Maybe.
Nice. Well, I got one out. I had to torch the other and weld the nut in, but well, she's all together. So look at this. So she goes in and out, no problem. Look at this ridiculous system in here. See in there? Look at that. How could that ever screw up? You know, there's wheel well. Oh wait, there's nothing. That's the ground. Just junk in there. But it's all together. It works. It's kind of smoky in here because of all the penetrating oil and fire. Probably my stress coming up my ear balls. So I'm gonna let it kind of dissipate, and then I'll come back out, I'll clean it all up, and I'll give it a quick coat of paint, and that's where I'm leaving this video. What the hell? Cool, I guess. See you in a bit. I thought about it. I'm not painting anything. It'll look ridiculous if I paint just a few things, and I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna clean it all up. Look at all this stuff. There's still just rat turds everywhere. So I'm gonna mask up. I'm gonna rip out kind of the remainder of the headliner, vacuum everything up, vacuum all that mud and stuff that's all in the window channels, and then put her back together. And it'll look exactly the same as it did at the beginning of the video, other than these two shiny cables and the loss of my sanity. Okay, vacuumed out. I'm going to spray it all with a little bit of disinfectant while I go in, have a little break, and then I'll come back out, we'll bang her together, and call it bedtime. It's dark out. Well, oh, it's quite a bit harder to open now. The ridiculous cables are on. I wonder what these are like. I don't know. What a system. What a ridiculous thing. I don't know who designed this or thought it was a good idea, but every other car I've ever seen or truck or whatever, it's just a simple cable that folds on itself, or like two pieces of, you know, steel that overlap like a set of scissors or something. This is absolutely ridiculous for absolutely no reason. I love Tri-5s, but that was a waste of my time and money, I gotta say. Anyways, I don't know. Ridiculous video fixing a tailgate retractors on a Tri-5 Chevy. But it actually took me 2 nights and cost me like $100. But it's all together. It works. It's good. We can carry on something else. Got to fight out the seat, what I want to do there, clean the rest of that out, and I want to start getting on the wiring, and go from there. Thank you very much for watching. As always, have a great night, great day, great evening, whatever it is, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.